Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So today I want to talk about some auction tips for CGC 9.8 collectors. Yeah, because often on the channel here I'll say like, be patient and wait for an auction when you're trying to get a deal on a 9.8. And I should probably say that though with a bit of an asterisk, to be honest, because, auctions, they could be good or bad. Yeah, sort of depending on the comic and the timing, I would say. So we'll get into a couple details here, but I think auctions can be really great if the comic book you're trying to buy is not hot. So, say you want a comic book, there's, no promotion really, no movie or shows out, like maybe you just want it because you were nostalgic for it or something like that. That type of book in an auction is probably when you're going to get the best deal. Yeah, so auctions work really great for sort of cold comic books. Yeah, and that's a lot of our inspiration behind our ongoing cold list videos of, comic books that don't have a lot of promotion that you can get out there and get for a pretty fair price. So a couple examples here. I want to talk about Dinosaur #1 in the CGC 9.8 here. I think this is an example of a comic book that's not hot right now. And a cool one, yeah, just getting into the 70s. So this is kind of an older one that you can still get in the 9.8 for a good price. But one of these in an auction had sold for $193.59. Yeah, that's a pretty great price. Even, myself here in the last 4 to 6 months, I remember some of these in the 9.8 going for like 210, 220-ish. So to get it under 200, I think is just a great deal. And yeah, Dinosaur #1 right now is pretty much the epitome of like a cold book or a not hot book. I don't know of any promotion or rumors or anything like that. But interesting still, without none of those rumors or anything, a buy it now sold for $284.95. So for these cold books, most of the time you're gonna get a better deal in an auction, to be honest. Yeah. So next one I want to talk about is a Deadpool Merc with a Mouth #7. So an interesting time for this one because just in the last couple days here, Deadpool 3 is like rumored to be coming out for sure now. The MCU is going to be making a new Deadpool movie and it's going to be rated R apparently, so people are pretty pumped up about that. I'm really interested moving forward here if an auction pops up, how much this one would go for. Probably my recommendation right now is to not go after an auction because this one's it's heating up. But certainly, I was recommending this one about 6 months ago. I think back then it was the perfect cold comic book that you could have got in an auction for like 120-ish, I would say. But with some of these Deadpool 3 rumors now heating up, I have a feeling in an auction it'll probably go for like 225-ish, I would say. So probably wouldn't recommend this one now, but just a good example of, yeah, back then you could have got this one when it was cold in an auction for a really good, fair price. Okay, so the other side of the coin here is, we just talked about when auctions are good, when you can buy cold comic books. Well, auctions are bad when you're trying to buy hot comic books. Yeah, and we will get into a couple examples here to illustrate that. But yeah, when a comic book gets hot, usually there's a promotion or a show or a movie that's generating new demand and new people coming to the markets and being drawn back to the characters. Like a lot of times those new people, for lack of a better word, they're noobs. Like they're just getting back into things. They probably have very little, if any, information about the prior price history for whatever 9.8 it is. So much more of a chance in that type of environment that a bidding war erupts or something like that. So auctions are not the best option for hot comic books if you are looking to purchase a hot comic book. A couple examples here. I brought out my spot #1 in the newsstand. So it was like about a month ago where I think McFarlane, I don't know, he was doing a little bit of a media tour for some reason, and I guess it's like Spawn is in pre-production. The Spawn movie is like for sure in pre-production or something like that. And I mean, who knows? There's been a lot of Spawn movie rumors for the last like 5 years pretty much. But pretty much there was an auction on eBay, perfect timing with those rumors. This exact one, Spawn #1 newsstand in the 9.8 went for, it was like $1,090 or something like that. That was the first Spawn #1 newsstand in the 9.8 I ever saw break 1,000. So since then, we're about a month later, not even, like it's a month or two later now. I saw a signed version of this exact book it was like $900. So less than the Blue Label one went, peak sort of hype when those announcements came out. And a Blue Label Spawn #1 newsstand as well. They're going kind of from like sort of 700 to 800, I would think. And I think, this one might even cool down even a little bit more to you might be able to get it under 700 if you sort of wait for a lull. The Blue Label Spawn #1 in the newsstand. So just an example of, some outside promotion, heated up, demand for a character, which was Spawn in this case. And there was an auction kind of timed perfectly almost. I don't know if the seller did that on purpose or whatnot, but ended up going for a kind of all-time high price because kind of a perfectly timed auction in a hot book. So yeah, Spawn #1 is a good example. Another example here is going to be fun. It's a sport card example. So I want to talk about this LeBron James PSA 10 sort of. This is it's a 2018 Don Russ Optic. It's kind of his Lakers rookie card. So people are kind of collecting like his first card in the Lakers uniform. So pretty cool card. I'm a sports fan. I was watching the finals, and LeBron and the Lakers ended up winning the finals. This card in the PSA 10 during that time was like $220. Maybe if you got a deal, it was like $200. So certainly you would think the promotion was near its all-time high then. This was a hot item when the Lakers were in the finals, so the prices, according to this theory, would have been pretty high during that time. Because I kind of wanted it, to be honest, but I didn't end up buying one. Just in the last couple days here, and we're maybe a month or two after the championship NBA Finals there, a couple of these selling for $80. Yeah, $80, exact same card, PSA 10. These LeBron James Don Russ Optic from 2018 for $80. During the NBA Finals, auctions were going for $225. And it was just auction after auction after auction. And I was pretty tempted. Cool card, definitely. But just gives you an idea of when the promotion goes away. A lot of times those in-the-moment auctions end up being pretty severe overpays. And certainly that was the case with these LeBron James PSA 10 cards. So another point to make here before we wrap it up. I think buy it nows and buy it now and best offers are awesome. Yeah, they're fantastic. I think I'm a little bit guilty of saying, be patient and wait for an auction. I should say be patient and wait for an auction, a buy it now, or a best offer. So you want to consider everything, really. A good, maybe a bit of an edge that you can get with these buy it nows and buy it now or best offers. Because you really want to stay on top of your searches for that. I say that often too, stay on top of your searches. If you really want some, probably search it every day in the CGC 9.8. But a little trick too is you can search newly listed, for whatever you're searching for, search newly listed listings. And that's going to bring up some of the new ones that had just come on eBay. So, and in the buy it now or buy it now best offers, one of the keys to kind of getting deals in buy it nows and buy it now or best offers is to be quick. So if you search the newly listed ones, you'll probably see some new listings of maybe a buy it now or best offer in the book that you might want. And you can be the first person to sort of send in some offers at or below fair market value. And you can still get really good deals in 9.8s doing that. Yeah, that's how I've purchased a lot of my comic books. Because, yeah, sometimes, buy now and there's a buy now or best offer and the seller's not motivated at all. And it'll be on eBay for a year because it's overpriced and it's a best offer. But sometimes buy now or best offer, the seller's still pretty motivated. And if you're searching those newly listed listings, for the 9.8 that you might want, you'll get kind of first dibs. And that's, I think one of the big keys to getting some deals in buy it nows and buy it nows or best offers. Yeah, a lot of people on the team are, really quite savvy with staying right on top of the searches. And once a new listing pops up, like, whatever book it might be, you can really pounce on them before anyone else does. So yeah, auctions, we mentioned those two scenarios there. They're pretty great with, cold comic books. They're not so great with hot comic books. But, auctions aside, you really do want to consider buy it nows, buy now or best offers, and auctions too. So basically all three things you want to consider. Because yeah, I'm a bit guilty especially early on in my collecting, of just really focusing on auctions and thinking that you couldn't get a deal on a buy it now or best offer because all those sellers probably just want the most money possible kind of thing. But yeah, you always don't want to make that assumption. You can still get some deals on buy it nows and buy it now or best offers. And this is kind of eBay specific, this whole talk. But okay, so the main takeaway here is, yeah, I don't think you want to be the guy sort of chasing hot comic books in auctions. Yeah, I think there's a lot of evidence to show that, like, when a book gets hot in the moment, you know, those auctions, there's way more of a chance of a bidding war breaking out. So really, you just want to be patient. You want to consider auctions, buy it nows, and buy it now best offers. And you want to, you know, buy the books that you really love that are kind of cold, like that aren't really hot. And the cold ones, you be patient, you wait for the right listing, and you can definitely get it near fair market value or lower end of fair market value. So yeah, this whole video is just beware of those auctions, especially for hot comic books. And, you know, that's not to say a bidding war can't break out on like a cold comic book. It certainly can. Like, you're not going to win every auction that you bid on, that's for sure. This isn't like a guaranteed to win auction strategy. But certainly with the hot comic books that are, you know, for whatever reason are really hot, in those auctions, the prices can get really high and you just don't want to get caught up in that. So yeah. Okay, good video, a bit of a different video, kind of hash out some of these details on auctions that I think are pretty important though. And I've noticed certainly you can get great deals on cold books in auctions, but for the hot books, sometimes not so much, and you can downright severely overpay sometimes. So yeah, definitely worth a video. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Yeah, and if you haven't already, I would invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Hit the bell for all the latest notifications. Add me on Instagram and Twitter as well. All the links in the description below. But thanks again for watching. Yeah, it was good to kind of hash out some details that I think are helpful when you're trying to get some books for a decent price. Yeah, this, you know, some of these details about auctions I think are pretty important. Okay, thanks so much. As always, message me on Instagram if you did have any questions about it, whatever it might be. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.